Oh, you got it. Okay, beautiful. Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, a car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are for In Focus on this special New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to all of you. And with me, as always, the accomplished author, the minister, the insurance specialist, and the professional at pulling people's heads out of the sand, Robb Hill. Robb of R Hill Enterprises, Inc. Great to see you, sir.
It's great to be seen, sir.
It has been too long. I have missed you. It's great to see you again, and I am excited for your presentation. And we want to get up your video for everyone to see. Here we go. Right here. All right, here is the video.
Years, hundreds of thousands of baby boomers will be retiring. But have you prepared for your retirement? Retirement planning has become the forefront of one's financial position. The problem is that many of us spend our lives running after the money rather than having the money run after us. After all, they didn't teach us how to plan for retirement in school. So now we have some catching up to do. It all starts with an important book called Ask the Right Questions, Get the Right Answers for Sound Financial Retirement Planning from well-known financial planner Robb Hill. In the book, he discusses why you need to prepare as soon as you can and to stop procrastinating. Find out the secrets that other financial planners will never tell you and how you will benefit from them. Aside from pensions being underfunded, Robb Hill's book gives you the inside look at how you can secure your future with small adjustments in your life. Get the book today. Ask the right questions, get the right answers for sound financial retirement planning from Robb Hill, and enjoy your golden years. Visit www.rhillenterprisesinc.com and get your copy now.
All right. And there it is for black and white for everyone to see. And I wanted you to know your last show, we got a comment from Black Models who wanted your post. I believe your podcast. I believe they put it up. And Dimitri said your content and personality are amazing. And he is going to contact you. He said to please check your requests. I believe I gave him your website. I hope he messaged you, or he will. He just messaged me the other day. And then you had Chicago families and Illinois Icon who wanted your podcast to put up and promote on their Instagram sites. So you are going to be getting a round, just so you know. Not in that way, but you're going to be getting around. But yes, I am excited to see what you have for us today. Wills and trusts, very, very important. We were discussing them a little bit yesterday, and from what I was trying to understand, if you have a trust, it can outlive the will. It can be its own entity and keep going.
Well, when you got the cart in front of the horse again, my friend. We're gonna go ahead.
We're gonna get that right.
Okay, but let me submit this to you. Okay, if your outgo is more than your income, your upkeep will be your downfall.
Exactly. Yes, you did. Yeah, okay, I got that.
Now, this is just one of the pillars of a sound financial retirement plan, and that's the wills and trust thing. See, a lot of people don't understand how these things work or why they need to have it in place. And we're going to broach both of those issues in this presentation, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and, y'all, you can go ahead and bring it up.
Yes, sir.
All right, and I got control here. So this is wills and trusts, and we're going to debunk all the misnomers and all that kind of stuff. You're going to be highly informed after this presentation, okay? Now, let's look at the family of Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt, who died with a fortune of $105 million that he left largely to his oldest son, William, in the year 1877. Okay. William did a good job managing the assets left to him by his father. 6 years later, in January 1883, William was worth $194 million. Now, this is in the 1800s.
I would love to know what that would be converted to today.
It'd be billions.
Yeah, it would be.
2 years later, in 1885, William H. Vanderbilt died with a net worth of $200 million. Okay. William left half his fortune to his two sons, Cornelius and William K., bringing their fortunes to $50 million each, and the remaining $100 million was divided among all 8 of his children.
He had a lot of kids.
Yes. Many of the heirs of William H. began spending their inheritance on lavish residences. Cornelius spent over $6 million in 1886 to build a residence in New York City. Now, that's astronomical.
Geez, did he build the Brooklyn Bridge? I mean, my God.
Well, you can't live in the bridge.
I know.
But of all William H.'s children, Frederick, who inherited only $10 million, did the best financially. At Frederick's death in 1938, he was worth $78 million. However, federal estate taxes consumed over half his estate. Excuse me. You hear that? Federal estate taxes. All right. So we want to get a good grip on what that means. The succeeding generations of the Vanderbilts did not do so well. According to Arthur T. Vanderbilt, author of Fortune's Children, The Fall of the House of Vanderbilt, when 120 of Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt's descendants gathered for a reunion in 1973, there was not a millionaire among them. What happened to the money, right?
Well, I was going to ask, do you think it was people taking advantage of them, get rich quick schemes, or they were just not fiscally sound with their finances?
Well, the government had a big role in depleting that money. But then again, when you've got people that didn't earn their money, they don't value it, so they just they turn into spendthrifts and all this kind of stuff, and they're not looking at how to put that money to work for them to keep bringing in more money. So $1 million is not as much as you think it is.
No, it's nothing. Not nowadays.
Okay, but now to someone that has a firm grasp on how money works and all that, $1 million is a nice chunk of change. Okay?
Yes.
So now let's look at this. Listen to this. Only 3% of family assets on average survive to the fourth generation. See, a lot of people have no idea what that means. Okay, in the scriptures, in Proverbs, there's a verse that says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just." Okay,
right.
But I digress there. I mean, this is all these principles, they come straight from the Creator. Okay, now the source for this information was Brookline. The Family Firm Institute in Brookline, Massachusetts. All right. So how a trust could benefit your estate plan. A lot of people don't realize that. What is your estate? What is it?
Is it your assets?
Well, it's your assets and your liabilities.
Okay. Oh, and what you owe, you're saying?
Yes. See, to get to your proverbial net worth, what you do is you subtract all your liabilities from your assets. In order to do that, what you got to do is you got to line up all your assets. Let me simplify this for you. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket.
So death does not prevent you from paying your creditors?
No. Okay. No. If it don't get you in the wash, it'll get you in the rinse. Okay, somebody gonna pay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we continue on. A trust could benefit your estate plan by eliminating estate taxes on your life insurance death benefit. Now, a lot of people understand that life insurance benefits are tax-free, unless, of course, they have to be included in your estate, which I will get into all of that, why that would occur and all that kind of good stuff in this presentation. Preserve your estate for future generations. That is key right there. A lot of people they just have no idea. They just live day to day, hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. You hear all these different terms out there, all right? And that is by design. Okay, that is by design, and I go into that in my book, and I'll explain.
In your book, yes.
So protect your estate from future creditors or divorce. Somebody marries into the family for the money, right? And they got, I want half.
Well, that's why you have prenups, right?
Yes, definitely. Okay, so what is a will? A will is a formal and legally enforceable statement of how you wish to dispose of your property upon your death.
Correct.
A valid will allows your last wishes to be protected by law. It can be changed at any time prior to death, and it can be used to express kindness, anger, surprise, or punishment, or, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, you had also said that you have to be of sound mind to be.
You got the cart in front of the horse, my friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I learned. I did learn.
Okay. So why is a will important? Without a will, you cannot control who will inherit your property upon your death. And we don't know when we're going to meet that. So do it today. Should you die without a will, your property will be distributed according to the laws of your state, meaning that a bunch of bureaucrats don't sit there and decide what to do with all your hard-earned assets. All right? So we don't want that to happen. Who should make a will? Every adult should have a will. You need 2 qualifications to prepare a will. Number 1, you must be 18 years old. And number 2, you must be of sound mind, which is very subjective. Okay, that's very subjective. You want to leave $1 million to a cat? I mean, are you of sound mind?
I can't argue. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sound mind means that you must understand what you are giving away and to whom you are giving it. Okay. You must prepare your will free from implied or actual threats, pressures, or trickery. The will should be written in the state of residence, and it will be honored across all 50 states. Okay.
Now, somebody asked sound mind. Can that be challenged?
Yes.
It can be. Okay.
Yes. Like I said, you got a person that wants to leave $1 million to a cat. All right. See, that would come and bring into question sound mind.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Now, dying without a valid will. Okay, and many people fall victim to this. Okay. Dying intestate. When someone dies without a will, that person is said to be intestate. The laws that govern the distribution of property in such an estate are known as laws of intestate succession. These laws determine who your beneficiaries, your administrator, and the guardian of your children will be. It's in the hands of the bureaucrats. Okay. You don't want to do that. You don't want to, you want to take control. I mean, 100% responsibility is on you.
Does that mean like a judge makes that decision?
Yeah, well, they've got judges, and then they got all them other layers of bureaucrats that, I mean, it could take years for them to get everything ironed out.
Sorted out. Okay.
Yeah, it could take years. Now, heir versus beneficiary. An heir is defined as a person who is legally due to inherit with or without a will. A beneficiary inherits through a will or other document, such as an insurance policy. Okay.
Right.
Next of kin refers exclusively to those who are blood related, while heirs usually refers to anyone who is entitled to inherit property from the deceased under state law. There's a vast difference there. Okay. So we need to get very clear on who is an heir and next of kin and all that. Okay. Now, this is an example. Bruce and Helen had a sizable joint estate, a home in California, and no children together. Neither had a will. Bruce died first, and Helen died a few days later. The California laws to intestacy distributed all the jointly held property to Helen's brother. Bruce's 3 children by a previous marriage received none of Bruce's jointly held assets. Why? Because the bureaucrats take over. Okay. And
if they had put together a will and said Bruce's 3 children from the previous marriage would inherent such and such, they would have gotten a certain amount of assets.
It's just that simple. And yes.
Wow.
It's just
Wow.
that simple. Okay?
God damn you, Bruce. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's all jacked up. I mean, because see, a lot of people they say that they're gonna get this done. You know, there's
They put it off. I know.
apathy and procrastination, brother. Apathy and procrastination. These are two enemies that are insidious. Now, apathy says, well, I'll take care of it tomorrow. At least at least it's on my mind. Okay. At least it's on my mind. Procrastination says, I know I need to do it, but I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. And you've heard me say this many times that if you keep putting off what you can do today until tomorrow, what you end up with is a lot of empty yesterdays. Okay.
Right.
And we don't know what's going to happen, so do it now. All right. So that was just an example. Now here, there are 3 types of property: real property, which is real estate property and buildings; tangible property you can touch and use in its physical form, like cars and fur coats and things like that; intangible. This is property that may be represented by paper, such as stocks, bonds, copyrights, and patents. Okay. There's some other things that fall into there. Now we've got all these different descriptions for assets. I mean, you got the cryptocurrencies and all this kind of stuff coming out. And so we need to make sure that we get all this stuff in line. Is it an asset or is it a liability? Because you need to have all your ducks in a row when you establish this will. Okay.
That's true. That's difficult to understand. What would crypto fall under? I'm sure they're still debating that.
Well, they are debating that, but crypto falls under cash flow, brother.
It does. Okay.
That falls under cash flow. But now, a lot of people, they think, well, I don't need this. I ain't got nothing. All this kind of stuff, And that mindset right there, you shot yourself in the foot. Okay. I mean, you got to change your whole mindset, because the United States of America, this is the land of opportunity. Okay. And it is the right of every citizen to lower their tax burden as much as possible. Okay. See, we live by the golden rule in this country, and I've explained to you what that is, right? He who has the gold makes the rules. All right. So now we're going on definition. Escheat. Familiarize with yourself with this. When there is no will and there is no surviving spouse or heirs, estate property is said to escheat or pass to the state. The state tries to find heirs for 10 years. Really? Then
I'm sure they work hard.
Go to the state permanently. Yeah, I mean, really, no. Our government has an insatiable appetite for everybody else's money.
I thought for some reason if a will, there is no surviving spouse, that it can be the word I'm thinking of, bid on. People can bid on it.
Well, no, actually, the word I'm looking for is contested.
It can be okay.
Okay, but now, when you have a will, man, you have some people that are involved with it, and I'll get into that as we get down the road here to explain to you about the beneficiaries, the heirs, the administrators, and all that kind of good stuff. All right, but let's continue. The joint will is the single will of 2 or more testators, such as a husband and a wife. Now, people may separate, lose the copy of their will, or destroy the will without the other's consent or knowledge, or divorce, or whatever the case may be. All right. And that's just why each person needs to have a copy of the will. Okay.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
You need to have your own copy, even though they're identical. Each person needs to have. Right, that's good, but why do you have 10? But that's another thing. We'll broach that off air, okay? So, videotaped or audio taped wills. No state recognizes these wills as valid. Videotaping is one method of establishing the identity and alertness of the testator. You got to accompany that video with a formal will in writing. Okay, and it just strengthens the will itself, but it can't be used by itself.
Did not know that.
Okay. Elements of a valid will. Number one, listen to this. The will must be in writing. Period. No other kind of will is acceptable. The will must be signed by the testator, that is the person making the will, and the will must attest to 2 or 3 adult witnesses who will not benefit from the will. That's like when you get things notarized. Okay. And you use your legal name that is on your birth certificate. Okay. Now, a self-proving will. Although use of this clause is not a strict legal necessity, it is strongly recommended that you prepare and use this clause with all wills. Although few states have not enacted legislation to allow for their use in court, the current trend is for all courts to allow their use. This clause will allow for your signature on your will to be proved without the necessity of having the 2 witnesses appear in court. A point which will save time, money, and trouble in having your will admitted to probate when necessary. What this is saying is that we don't have to bring in the witnesses to your will to prove that that's your signature. Okay.
Right.
See, when you make a will, it's not that you just make a will and you keep it in your safe deposit box. You have to file a copy of it with the state.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, you can't just show up with a will and say, this is the will right here that my granddad left. You got no record of it. There ain't no paper trail. You could have wrote that thing up yourself. And there's all kinds of fraud.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So you got to make sure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, okay? So we'll continue. Your personal representative. Now, this is where it gets critical. An executor. The person the testator chooses to handle the affairs of their estate. That's after they pass or if they become incapacitated. Okay. An administrator. That is the person appointed by the probate court to assume the duties of an executor should a person die without a will. And there's no time frame on this. This does not happen instantaneously. Okay, and in the words of the government, hurry up and wait. Okay, hurry up and wait. That's what they do. Okay, after your will is completed, do not make any changes directly on the will after it has been completed, signed, and witnessed, because those changes will not be valid. Now, how are they going to know that something was added? It's because it's on record.
Because you had to turn it in, right?
It's on record. Okay. So you want to make sure you just don't write the will and stick it under your pillow. You get it notarized, get it witnessed, and you send a copy to the state. Okay, so that they have a record of it. So prepare a codicil or prepare a new will. A codicil is an addition to a will. An amendment, so to speak.
So you can make an amendment.
Right, or a new will. If you create a new will, destroy the old will.
And you have to tell the state to do the same?
Yes, okay. Yes. You want to make sure all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Okay? Now, what is probate? This is what we want to avoid. Probate court is the entity that processes the estate of a deceased person. The probate estate is all of a person's assets that go through the probate process. If you die without a will, everything goes through probate. And it could take years. Okay.
Well, because
not free. There's a cost associated with it also.
is any family member able to contest the will and go to probate court if they want?
If
Or they have to be
the will is structured properly and all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, no.
Okay.
No, I mean that's you. That's speaking for you. Okay?
Right. But people still do contest wills all the time.
They only can contest it when there are holes in the process.
Okay.
Okay, and those holes are I call them loopholes. Okay, where a person didn't dot the I or didn't cross the T, and they some shyster can slip their way in there and all that kind of good stuff. But if you do this right, and you get with a knowledgeable attorney, a state attorney, everything's going to be taken care of. Okay, but see, you got to know the right questions to ask. Because if you don't ask the right questions, you are not going to get the right answers.
Right.
Okay.
And
many professionals, they're going to give you answers to what you ask them. All right. But then a lot of people don't know what to ask.
Right.
Okay. So, last will and estate planning. Without a will, you cannot ensure that the property you leave behind goes to the people you want it to. Okay. Without careful planning, your heirs may encounter some serious tax and property ownership issues, which I go into a lot. Okay. Say, in a previous introduction video, you had me when I was on Business First AM, and we talked about leaving that $300,000 house to your daughter. All right. And she's got to pay taxes on that thing.
Taxes, yes.
So, I mean, you want it to be a blessing, but it could be a curse. Okay.
Big time.
Make sure that we get everything. There are ways to plan for all of this. Okay. And there are financial tools available to everyone that you can utilize to make sure that you are not going to leave problems for your heirs. Okay. See, a lot of people don't understand this. See, you're only going to be remembered for one or two things. Either the problems you create or the problems you solve.
Right. That's your legacy.
Yes. Definition. Homestead is your primary residence, and it is exempt from creditor claims, and they may include your house, mobile homes, houseboats, things of that nature. Okay. Durable power of attorney avoids guardianship if you lose capacity, meaning for your children. Okay. Someone steps in to manage the finances for your estate. That is the person that you made your executor.
Right.
Okay. Pre-need guardianship is if you are a danger to others. That means they're going to lock you away so you can't hurt nobody. All right. Which a lot of people just say things off the cuff and don't really mean it, but who knows whether they mean it or not.
So how would you go about getting pre-need guardianship? If you say, oh, I'm going to murder so-and-so.
No, actually, what happens is the pre-need comes before you get into any type of incapacity. Okay. So you set this stuff up before something happens. So you set this will up correctly, and then 6 months later you're in a car accident. Okay. And you're in a coma. All right. Your will or the durable power of attorney allows the person that you made the executor to conduct all your financial transactions and all that kind of good stuff.
Correct.
That's only incapacitated. That's what pre-need guardianship is.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Pre-need guardianship may be necessary due to third-party interference. That's where you got that shyster brother-in-law, coming in and saying that this is supposed to be this way and all this kind of stuff. But this right here protects against that. Okay. Now, they did do a lot of thinking when they put this stuff together. Okay.
So there's a lot that goes into this. This isn't just like writing down on a sheet of paper a bunch of stuff. Like I give this to this. Like you have to put a lot of thought into making prepare this correctly.
This is critical to securing your legacy. All right. Remember, I explained to you that a lot of people don't think.
Well, yeah, 95%.
They're just in a reactionary state.
We're all ignorant.
All right. So what we got to do is we got to get people to thinking. Okay. Remember, I give you the analogy about head in the sand. We ain't gonna go there. All right. So pre-need guardianship may be necessary due to third-party interference. That's key. Minors, ways to appoint your guardians. That's also a pre-need guardianship thing. If you get incapacitated, who's going to take care of your toddler? Okay.
Right.
Where you take care of all that. The power of attorney. Someone that is trustworthy, that's not going to just go in there and clean out your bank accounts and all that kind of good stuff. Because when situations happen, man, the devil is in the details, brother. You know?
Right.
And
right.
You petition the court to make sure that your wishes are going to be upheld. Okay. And both parents must sign for the pre-need guardianship. Okay. What is a living will? The will takes effect before you die and may include the right to die, meaning like you had that car accident, you're in a coma, you're in a vegetative state. Pull the plug on me, all right? Don't just keep me sitting there and you're keeping me alive with intravenous feeding and all that kind of, no, pull the plug on me. So that's death with dignity, all right? Because what they do is they want to keep you on life support just to suck your family dry. I'm talking financially. Okay.
I thought they usually want to take you off because they want the bet or whatever. They'll keep you on as long as you want.
No, they will keep you on there as long as somebody says don't pull the plug.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's paying.
That's right.
It's all about that money.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so that's another thing. Like in my will, I say, hey, pull the plug on me.
Yank it. Yeah.
Yes,
yank it right
let
out.
Me go. Don't hold me prisoner.
I'm brain dead. Let me go.
And I don't even have to be brain dead, man. I ain't breathing. Let me out.
Yeah. You don't. You mean you're talking like a DNR?
I'm talking about don't even resuscitate. Yeah, do not resuscitate.
You have a DNR, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Well, I mean, you think about it. What they gonna resuscitate you for? All right. No, it's my time. Let me go.
You're a young guy. I mean, I think, when you get in your 70s, maybe, but
no, you're still young.
Yeah,
you're still young. I mean, just.
I understand. I understand.
Right. Okay. All right.
Because you're going to heaven. You believe you're going to a better place. If it's your time, it's your time. There's no point in fighting it.
Listen to me. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
It is in heaven.
See, right? We want to. The kingdom is coming here. It's here.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. Yep.
Yep. So now, types of medical treatment: CPR, respirator, artificial feeding. Specify no autopsy, except in cases of foul play. Okay.
Or is it death under a certain age? Isn't it mandatory?
No, I'm not very familiar with that because, I mean,
okay.
Except for murder,
right?
You could go any time for any reason. I mean, you could just drop dead one day.
Sure, it happens all the time, right?
Yes. Okay. So now we move on here. Overriding a living will. Listen to this. Your family cannot override your living will. Nobody can touch it. It is set in stone, and that's a beautiful thing. Trust. Trusts have been around since the Roman Empire, about 800 AD. Later, English knights used trust to protect their lands when they went into battle.
The battle.
American trusts have been used since the 1700s, helping colonists protect property from English taxes and the government. Okay, so this was put in place with all the right ideas. Okay, we want to keep what's ours. All right, not let the government come in and take everything.
So when did life insurance come into place? Would you
Life
say?
insurance has always been in place in some type or some form or another. Okay.
Okay.
It has morphed into what we call life insurance today because of education. People have, I mean, you need to be able to define these things and all this kind of stuff. So that is where the life insurance comes in. But it's always been some type of it has been around. It just wasn't called life insurance.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so now we've got the life insurance that is available to everyone. Unless, of course, you have some disqualifying factors.
Pre-existing conditions.
Right. Well, that could be it. So creating a living trust, this is to avoid the difficulties of probate, which the number one difficulty in probate is the time. Okay. It enables you to transfer your property directly to your trust during your life without court involvement. Critical. Okay. After your death, the person you appoint to handle the trust may then simply transfer ownership to the beneficiaries you named in the trust. All right.
So it eliminates all of it if you have a living trust.
Right. See, what you do is you want to structure everything to answer all those unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
Okay, that's what this is for. The spendthrift's child, the drug crazed aunt, all these different things are addressed with this when you create a living trust,
right,
along with your will. Okay. Now, the definition of a living trust. Listen to this: a legal agreement in which a person owning property, the grantor, hands over legal title to his or her property to a second person, the trustee, who manages it while the grantor is alive. And that is perfect for if you get incapacitated.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Or get up there in the age and you're suffering from dementia or whatever the case may be, everything is still in good hands. Okay. This is living trust continued. As grantor, you do not give up the right to use or sell the property. It is simply put in another entity's name to avoid probate when you die, which is the trust.
Right.
See, our trust is okay. So that's why you put it in the trust. You avoid probate and all that kind of good stuff. Mm-hmm.
So if you're of sound mind and you lose your mind, people can't sell your house, basically.
No, your house is owned by the trust.
Owned by the trust, okay.
Mm-hmm. And there are different types of trust.
Yes.
Okay? So you want to make sure that you get the right kind of trust when you go into your estate attorney and all that. This is where a short pencil comes into play, because a short pencil is better than a long memory, right? So you write down all your stuff and you write down the questions that you're going to bring to this attorney to make sure that everything is going to be the way you want it to be. So continued. It's simple. It's inexpensive legal alternative. It may eliminate costly estate probate charges such as attorney fees and the delays of probate. It could take years for everything to go through probate because, like I said earlier, hurry up and wait when the government gets involved. All right. Mm-hmm. A living trust ensures that your loved ones receive their inheritance when they need it most, right now.
Right.
Right now.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. You have the final say as to what happens to all trust property. Okay. So what you do is you move everything into the trust.
Right.
so that your heirs do not have to pay taxes on that stuff and all that kind of. I mean, this is something that you need to get crystal clear on with your estate attorney. And if you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers. With a living trust, listen to this, there is no waiting, no public record, and it significantly reduces attorney fees at the time of death. Practically reduces them to nothing because everything's already done. Okay. Now, a living trust can be canceled or amended at any time prior to the grantor's death or legal incapacity. Okay. It can be used alone or with a will. And I would submit to you, use it with a will. You don't have to have a large estate to establish a living trust. This is where a lot of people get all jacked up. I ain't got nothing. No, but you do have something. Okay. And this is where this comes into play. So the living trust, it shortens the time to distribute funds by months or years. That means that it's not going to be sitting in the bureaucrat's desk for 6 months. Okay.
Right.
You're going to bypass all the bureaucrats and all that. Okay. It is difficult to contest or overturn your wishes regarding your estate because you did it in sound mind and it's on record and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. And it remains completely private, meaning that no one can contest it. You know, your will goes up, you die, and they put it in the paper and all that, and all these neocons come out of the woodwork talking about, well, it's supposed to be mine, it's supposed to be, and all this kind of, you can avoid all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So note, a trust is hard to challenge in court. One of the worst risks associated with filing a will is that someone may legally challenge its validity in court. This is why you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, so this does not happen.
And that would be most likely be a family member that would challenge it, correct?
Well, not most likely, but that would be that's what usually happens. But anybody could challenge it.
Like your neighbor down the street can challenge it.
Yes, anybody could. Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. So no, your privacy is assured. You control your assets, and it provides conservatorship rights, meaning that your assets will be conserved by the persons that your executor and your administrator and all that kind of stuff. Out of state property is protected. You know, you own that big old house down there in Florida, so it's going to be protected too.
Right. I got to take care of that. Yeah.
Legally recognized all across the states, all across the country.
Universally, there's not a lot of difference between state by state.
Well, no. Once you have it and all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, it is valid.
Okay.
Everywhere. You can go and mess around and something happened to you in Italy. Your will and your trust is still going to work.
It's still good. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Your income taxes are unaffected by a living trust. Upon your death, your heirs will save on federal estate taxes. Why? Because everything is in the trust. Right. And you're not giving it to the people because the government wants to tax you when you receive things. All right. So this is how you avoid your heirs having to go through that heartache. Okay. And like I said many times, our government has an insatiable appetite for other people's money because they do not produce anything. Everything that they give to the people, they must first take from the people.
They take it away.
We want to lock their hands. Okay, we want to lock up our stuff. All right. So, definition, revocable. That means that you may amend or cancel the trust agreement or appoint a new trustee at any time. Now, this revocable, it falls across a whole lot of different financial tools like life insurance and annuities and all different kinds of things. Revocable means you can change who the beneficiary is. Okay. Revocable, a trust that takes effect while you're alive. This is a revocable living trust, meaning that it can be changed or altered. Okay. You got that? You clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. AB trust. This is for married couples. An AB trust is a type of revocable trust for married couples whereby the couples are able to do some basic estate planning. Now, this is where they both need to have their own copy of the will. Okay, they can be identical, but each person needs to have a copy of it. Okay, and it all needs to be filed with the state and all this kind of good stuff. All right, both persons, the husband and wife, need to do this on their own. Okay, because if there's any issues come up, the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna look at these wills. Okay, and make sure that nothing has been changed or altered or anything like that. Now, the irrevocable living trust. This is exempt from federal estate taxes because the trust is not considered to be a part of the grantor's taxable estate. That is critical right there.
Huge.
It's huge. I mean, you're not going to be taxed on it. There are many types of trusts out there, brother. Okay. So a person needs to be very astute about what they're looking for when they're talking about a trust. Okay. There are different types. Okay. But that's another conversation. So the goal, listen to this, to take out of your name as much money as possible, keeping it from the the income reduction squad and other agencies so your beneficiaries will inherit instead. All right?
Right,
like
right.
The IRS is right up there with Al Qaeda. Okay.
Yes.
They're a terrorist organization, man.
They are. No.
IRS, man, you get the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah, it's the Income Reduction Service.
Income Reduction Squad.
Squad. I got to get that right. Squad.
Okay. Caution. You are giving up the right to control and amend your trust when you have an irrevocable one. There may be gift tax consequences resulting from transfers into an irrevocable trust. That's something you need to address with your estate attorney to make sure that's not right to your heirs. No, don't give the probate court control over your assets.
Never.
You got to take 100% responsibility. Okay. Seek and ye shall find. Okay. Because you need to have things in position to control who inherits and who can't stick their hand in your pocket when you're gone.
Right.
So insurance trust, putting a life insurance policy into an irrevocable trust allows the death benefit to be excluded from your estate for estate tax purposes. Now, this is not for somebody that has a $20,000 death benefit. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
This is for someone that has insurance policies approaching 6 figures and above. Okay. Because this is where you get this insurance trust, because people on average know that life insurance death benefits are tax free. That is only if it's got to be structured in a certain way for that to happen. And this is where your trust comes into play and all that kind of stuff, because if you have sizable assets, that insurance policy is going to be included in that, in your estate. And there are ways to get around all that. This is where your estate attorney is going to come into play to help you avoid that. The insurance trust is irrevocable. The trust is irrevocable. You can't get money back when you need it. Okay.
Right.
The grantor must pay premiums of the life insurance policy, meaning that the person who the policy is on, they got to continue paying the premium. Okay. And they can't, I mean, even if it's a whole life policy, they can't take loans against it or anything like that because it is in the trust. Okay, and it's got to stay that way. Now, there are reasons to do this and reasons to do something else, which is an individual thing. This is not a cookie cutter plan. People's needs are different. Okay, this is where you explore every avenue that would be advantageous to you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. Insurance trust. Without the use of an insurance trust, an individual must include the face value of any life insurance policies in their estate. This may force of estate taxes, and this is what we just went through before. This helps you avoid that. Okay, because they've got all kinds of life insurance. Well, life insurance is life insurance, but they put all kinds of names on it: mortgage protection, final expense, accident, all these different names on it, and all that kind of stuff. But when you structure your financial toolbox, okay, you want to make sure that all these issues are addressed. All right, and it's not as hard as it may seem. It may seem like a lot of information. But it's simply this: 2 + 2 = 4. Period.
It is.
That's it. It's just that simple. A trust created through your will must go through probate. Think about that.
Oh, hurry up and wait.
You don't do that.
Right.
You create your trust and or your will. Okay, you don't do the trust through the will because we want to avoid probate. Now, community property. A husband and wife commingle their property. Commingle, that's a funny word, huh?
It's a very funny word.
Everything is together. Okay, your stuff is my stuff and my stuff is my stuff. Okay, I digress.
Well, who does that?
That's usually what the wife says. It says your money is my money and my money is my money.
Right.
Yeah. So come on. The spendthrift provision. This is to stop those irresponsible heirs from knocking out everything. Okay, a revocable trust may contain spendthrift provisions that prevent beneficiaries from assigning their interests in advance. Meaning, I'm gonna buy me a Ferrari, because I know he's going to leave me a bunch of money. It's not gonna let that happen. So, additional elements of a trust, and this is key. The pour over will. This is a supplement to the trust. The trust is not a supplement to the will. So it catches any assets not in the trust and puts them in there. A unified tax credit exemption. This is from the Economic Recovery Act of 1981, single versus couple. The Economic Recovery Act of 1981 allows a federal tax exemption called the Unified Tax Credit Exemption. The gift tax and estate tax share similar concepts. A single applicable exclusion amount permits anyone to give away up to $2 million in 2008 in assets during their lifetime as gifts or at death, and there ain't got to be no taxes paid on that. Up to $2 million. A lot of people don't know that. And our government, there are some shysters in our government, in case you didn't know. Okay. And they'll have you paying taxes when you don't actually have to. All right. So paying estate taxes. Many estates do not pay federal estate taxes because there is a $2 million exemption and an unlimited marital deduction. A lot of people don't know that. Your estate may still be liable for paying federal and state income, gift, and state inheritance taxes if it is not structured correctly. So all taxes must be paid from your estate before any bequests are distributed. You remember the example that you left that house to your daughter. All right. Listen to this. All taxes must be paid from your estate before any bequests are distributed. Bequests are the people that are supposed to receive these things. Okay. And this is why your blessing that you thought was a blessing could become a curse. You clear?
Exactly.
Okay. No. You decide who the trustee and secondary trustee will be. And it's better to have more than less. Okay. Because you never know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Tomorrow's not promised.
No.
Okay. So you want to have this set up to where there are some people like, imagine this. You got everything all set up and you're trustee and all that. You got everything all set up. And then you get into a car accident and you get incapacitated. Okay. And then your trustee has a heart attack and drops dead. What happens? Right? You can't change the will because you're not legally sound mind.
Right.
So what happens? This is why you need more than one.
Right.
Okay.
Really?
Now, no matter who serves as your trustee, it is advisable to have at least one successor trustee. I advise you to get 3 or 4.
Well, okay. Because depending on age too of that person, you never know.
On age, people die at all different ages.
You're right. That's true.
You know, I mean, it doesn't matter. You could be 25. People that are 25 been dying. I mean, shoot. No, so don't base it on age.
Right.
Base it on soundness of mind. All right.
Someone you trust, right?
Okay, so choosing your trustee, self, spouse, relative, attorney, close friend, or your financial advisor, it's up to you. Okay, it's up to you. Choosing your trustee, even if you are your own trustee, your assets are protected from probate since legally they are owned by the trust. Oh, listen to that. Legally owned by the trust. Okay, that is a separate entity rather than you.
Own entity.
Yes, it's a trust is a separate entity. To prepare, you need to get all your real estate deeds, your corporate stock certificates, your savings accounts, checking accounts, everything that you own, everything that you owe, all of that, everything. You need to get everything together because you don't want to be half-cocked, so to speak.
But
you want to get everything.
Can't that change over the years? I mean, if you gain property, lose property, gain, credit, lose credit.
It's definitely going to change if you are minding your P's. I mean, everything, because what you want to do is you want to increase your assets.
Absolutely,
okay?
Yes.
And so this is why that living will and all the living trust and all those things are key.
Right.
Because they are living, so to speak. They grow with your portfolio. Okay.
Right.
And this is part of a person's portfolio. A lot of people don't realize they have a portfolio, but they do.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So to prepare, you got to get the proof of property ownership on all your real estate, antique or classic cars, and you want to total all your assets. Now, an asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. And debts, including mortgages, bank loans, and other expenses, all those things, you need to get all that stuff and put this stuff in your will or in your trust, okay? Because you need to know everything. And your family does too. They don't want to be blindsided by something down the road. You've been gone for 2 years and now here this thing shows up. I mean, what is this? And it happens. So also included are your safe deposit boxes, your real estate, stocks, bonds, and your accounts receivable. If you have a business or anything like that. Okay. This covers everything. All right. I mean, this is perfect when they put it together. On paper, it's perfect. It all gets jacked up as soon as you start adding the people to it. Okay. the ones that are supposed to be overseeing how to do this stuff and all that. See, so you need to be knowledgeable about these things, and how to properly structure everything so that you don't leave your heirs over a barrel, okay, or behind the 8 ball, so to speak. So also included are your businesses. They solely own partnerships or corporate interests, all bank accounts, household furniture, everything basically, okay, everything. Not included are your personal autos, insurance not payable to the estate. That is a critical term right there. And S corporation stock. These are things that are going to be in your trust. There are different types of trusts. Okay.
Right.
Right. So no, with the trust in place, your family does not have to go to court, appoint and pay a personal representative to administer your estate, provide the validity of your intentions, no long delays in distributing the estate, and limitation of transferability. Those are critical benefits to having your stuff structured properly. Okay? This is critical. The information you obtain at this lecture is not, nor is it intended to be legal advice. You should consult an attorney for individual advice regarding your own situation, because this is not cookie cutter.
No.
Some fit for others and some things won't fit. So you need to this is just to bring you up to speed, to give you some ammunition for when you go to your estate attorney and your life insurance agents and all these different people. Okay, you want to find out what's best. I mean, there's lots of different types of life insurance: whole life, term life, index, universal life, increasing term, decreasing term. There's all kinds of things and these tools will definitely help you solidify your personal portfolio. Okay,
absolutely.
And so that's what I strive to do, is just give people the ammunition they need to set up a solid financial plan so that there will be something to pass on to your heirs. Okay, and you won't just be a memory.
Yeah, that's your legacy.
Yes. So any questions you got?
We did have a question. So if you were to grade Donald Trump's performance in 2025, what would it be?
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 goals you would have for Donald Trump and his office going forward for 2026, since it's the new year.
Okay. Well, the first thing, I give him 100%, because he's doing everything he can. Okay. Now, mind you that he's wading through the swamp.
Oh, he is.
All right. And the corruption is so entrenched in our government. I mean, it's just everywhere. And I commend the man for standing up and keeping on moving. All right, because everything's against him, except for the American people. The bureaucrats, man, they're in there, boy. They are entrenched. And so, for what I want to see is, I want to see some perp walks. I want to see some arrests. I want indictments, man. I want to see, where is all this money going?
Well, I mean, we were just talking about
a presentation called "The Trillion" that I'm gonna have to bring up one time too. But man, the swamp creatures are all over. You look at all this fraud coming out from Minnesota, and that's just not. Well, it's just not Minnesota.
That was the other question. Yeah, I know. That's the tip of the iceberg.
Just Minnesota.
Yeah,
it is rampant. And you know, the most people that are conducting this fraud are immigrants. Illegal immigrants at that.
Yeah.
Well, illegal immigrants. I mean,
yeah, no, I know.
Or you're just messing with the migrants. No, they're not. We're talking about illegal migrants, illegal aliens, so to speak. All right.
Yes.
You want to get every one of them that's illegal and get them out of here. Get them out of here. You know, I never really. Well, it always stuck with me. Why do they ask you when you like if you're filing for unemployment? Why do they ask you if you're Hispanic?
they do.
Looking at the welfare and all this kind of stuff. Why is it when you go into a welfare office they want to register you to vote?
That's true.
You hear me?
Get that done.
Well, you want to get these food stamps, we're going to register you to vote too. Yeah, you know this is from the Democrats.
Yeah.
You know, I know. It's really, really, really weird how all this stuff got slipped in and nobody said nothing. Why do we have to wait 10 years, 20 years to find out that this is fraud? Because the oversight is not there.
Right.
But then when you get the foxes guarding the hen house, you realize there's going to be some hens slaughtered.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Yeah, see, we got the foxes guarding the hen house. All right. And what we got to do is we're going to have to eradicate all of them. All we got to do is apply the Constitution to it. The Constitution is a self-cleansing document. It'll root out all that evil. It'll root it out.
Yes.
You know, it will. It will. But see, what happens is a lot of people misinterpret things. They misinterpret it. Like when we had the conversation about the separation of church and state.
Yes.
You recall that, right?
I do.
See, a lot of people think that the state is supposed to be in the church. That's not what it's meant for. It's meant for the state to stay out of the church, meaning exercising their control over the church.
Correct.
But the church can definitely come into the state because it needs control. And what better way than the scriptures, right?
Yeah.
See, they used to say prayers in Congress.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what happened to it? You know, they took prayer out of school.
Pledge of Allegiance.
They don't see the Pledge of Allegiance anymore or any of that kind of stuff. Why? Because they want an ignorant population. See, you remember my last presentation about the government, the responsibility of all American citizens?
Responsibilities of all American citizens. Yes.
If a country expects to be free and ignorant, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Freedom comes with responsibility, and freedom is reserved for knowledgeable and virtuous people. All right. See, when you got people walking around here now looking like they straight out of a cartoon, you wonder. I mean, all this nonsense going on. See, they want to just keep everything not clear. They want to give you a blurred vision of it.
Be confused. That's it.
Yeah,
they want people to stay confused.
Just off balance, and that's their goal, and that's what's happening now. And see, we're waking up. However, it took a Donald Trump to do that, because Donald Trump says things that other politicians won't say.
Oh, okay? He does.
You got all these politicians. Yeah, you got all these politicians in there now, and what Donald Trump is saying has been going on for decades. And these guys been in Congress for decades.
Yeah, and they say nothing. Right? I love when they ask the question.
We need a total house cleaning. We need a total house cleaning, brother.
No, I agree. Totally. I agree. We said that. Everything is corrupt. Everyone has an agenda, and it's not for the betterment of the people of this country, unfortunately. And the immigration situation.
Let me insert this right here. See, what we don't need is we don't need a government doing anything for us. We need the government to get out the way.
Step back. Get the hell out. Yeah, step back.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Let us live.
Right?
Yes.
And let the free market take over.
Absolutely.
Okay? Like remember that example I gave you about those people walking to that football game and it was hot outside and you decide to go and buy you 10 cases of Coke and put it on ice and stuff. That is the invisible hand. See,
Yeah.
the marketplace will decide who stays in business and who goes out of business.
It does.
The marketplace will do that. You don't need government regulation and all that kind of good stuff. It used to be that if you cut hair, all you have to do is put a sign out in your front yard, say haircuts, $7. Then the government bureaucrat came over there and said, well, no, you got to have emergency exits. You got to have a fire extinguisher every 10 feet.
Right.
You got to have a transgender bathroom and all these regulations. See, we were becoming regulation nation. But see, what Donald Trump is doing is he's knocking all them regulations out, because what regulations do is they make it harder to do business.
Much harder. And my friend is a small business owner, and he thinks people going into business for themselves is what's best, because working for the man is difficult enough. But he said with the wages, with all the oversight, it is very, very difficult to start a business and have success and turn a profit within 4 or 5 years. He just said they make it impossible.
Well, actually, the statistics state that every new business goes under within 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Within 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
I believe that
this is due to a lot of people actually not having the infrastructure in place.
Correct.
Okay. And infrastructure meaning all the cost of doing business. Okay?
Right.
Like I was on a call the other day when I just totally got immersed in getting the marketing aspect of Robb Hill Enterprises. I mean, we got so many different avenues, man, and I'm not no technological guru, okay? And so I'm up to here right now. I'm drowning in all this stuff, man. This is I'm like, wow. It's so complicated when it's very simple what I want to do.
Yeah,
but there's so much things going to talk about this. Where did the word algorithm come from? All this kind of stuff. I never heard that word before.
I know.
But there's a whole lot of stuff out there now. I mean,
till they monetized social media, algorithm did not exist. Algorithm is for social media, and it depends on your content. If it fits their algorithm, they will promote it in other people's feeds. It'll come up in people's feeds on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It'll show up. If it's something that goes against what Facebook likes, they can choose not to show it as much. And then you pay extra to boost your post, which I do. I can boost your podcast. I now have enough followers on YouTube where I am able to run ads on YouTube TV, which we just started and had success with. YouTube TV has 80 million viewers, and I can target like Chicago. I can target a certain age range. I can target any demographic you want: black, white, male, female, whatever. We just got that. We just started it. The pricing is reasonable. And I found that YouTube TV and I found that Instagram have been the most successful platforms for social media. However, the algorithm for it, you have to pay a little bit, but you can get seen. Like you can spend $25 for 2 days, 2 days, and you can get 10,000 views. I mean, your viewership numbers on YouTube alone eclipse that. So that's why, I think YouTube is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. It's also becoming more expensive, but having the ability, to run ads on YouTube TV, I created an ad for you that I'm going to run on YouTube TV just to see how it does. And I can air it on network. I can air it on, NBC, ABC, CBS. It can probably air twice a night. Yeah. Yeah. I can probably do it twice a night.
So what are you, an IT specialist?
No. It's because of the followers I have on YouTube. That once you get a certain amount of followers,
well, I mean, but how do you learn all this stuff? How do you learn all this stuff?
I didn't know until I hit over 20,000 followers that I was allowed to advertise on YouTube TV. I had no idea, but the other stuff I knew. Facebook is not the best platform. Instagram has been the better platform as far as, for viewership for you and, the people that have reached out after watching your show. Like I said, we had Black Models. We had a couple of Chicago podcast platforms reach out wanting to put your podcast on their network and promote it. That's a beautiful thing. So that's huge for getting your name out in Chicago. So that is what I am going to do with them. I just I shared the show with them, and I am going to get pricing from them. It's very inexpensive. I'm going to try it out and see what happens, and then I'm going to do the YouTube TV. And I think it'll work.
All right. So we're going to be back on Friday.
Yeah, we can go on Friday.
Meet again on
If you have
Friday?
another presentation, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you draw well, absolutely. And we haven't gotten censored, so we've been good. And this was great. This was excellent. No, I mean the other ones were good. We just the algorithm got us censored, so they didn't show it to as many people. But on YouTube, I can post it. YouTube doesn't censor as much, so it works out a little bit better. But yeah, no, I'll this was live on YouTube. This got good viewership, and I have an ad planned that I filmed for it. If you want to film something instead of me, you're welcome to, and you can send it to me. You have the camera, you have the microphone. If you want to film it, you can. All you have to do is turn it on, and you have Zoom or Google, whatever the Google is. You can film yourself. You can film a video and email it to me, and then I can run it as an ad on YouTube. But I created one for you. I created one for you to run just as a test, just to see how it did. And then on Instagram, we're going to send it to these 3 groups and see how they do with it. See if they're going to put it on their network and see if it works out well.
All right, my brother.
So you have a happy new year. And yeah, Friday, absolutely. Presentation. And
I think about that New Year thing. I mean, what's new in the middle of the winter?
There really isn't. There really isn't.
And then and think about this. They call the beginning of spring April Fool's Day.
Yeah, they do.
There's got to be some irony in that. The beginning of spring, when everything's new, is April Fool's Day.
They're fooling.
And we're going to have the new year start in the middle of the winter.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's new? Nothing's new.
Exactly. I know. But yeah, we'll go Friday. I'll text you. We'll probably go at 12 o'clock your time. 12 o'clock your time.
All right.
Okay. All right. So
I will be ready.
we will run the last of our ads, and you are good to sign off. And I mean, if you want to watch, this is kind of how I made your commercial, so you can see it. I had like 30 seconds or so. So this is what I did.
No, I gotta do some errands, brother.
So for Robb Hill, Our Hill Enterprises Inc., I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. This has been In Focus. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at. Down south, we have Julius Williams and the Trench Mob. Julius trains offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments across the country and also go to college showcase camps. Proud to say they were undefeated at every tournament they attended. Every college showcase camp, a member of the Trench Mob was offered a college scholarship. He's in Decatur, Georgia. If you want to work with the best, work with the Trench Mob, www.battleofthetrenches.com. We have Ned Von Young, Freshfold Laundry Company, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. High-end laundry service. They have you book online. You put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, fold it for you at Land Speed Records. And they also have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly. They offer now a pickup and delivery service, so you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home. Again, washed, dried, and folded for you and returned to you within 48 hours. They also have an expedited service. They have deals for college students in the area as well. Check out their website, myfreshfold-laundry.com. We also have James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. For the last 3 years, James has dedicated himself to the art of financial planning. He specializes in insurance policies, mainly life insurance. He will make you a boatload of money, and he will do so tax-free. He understands the stress that comes with retirement planning. How much do I need? For how long? Do we have enough? Because fear of the unknown is real. To connect with James, you can go to his website, www.lutherjamesinsurance.com. Finally, we have Robb Hill of R. Hill Enterprises, Inc. Robb is an accomplished author. He is a speaker, and he also is an insurance mastermind, along with being a minister. Robb will put you in the right insurance plan for you. He understands the constraints and the rules that go with insurance, but he makes sure that you ask the right questions so you get the right answers. His main objective is to pull people's heads out of the sand, because that is what we're dealing with currently. To connect with Robb, you can message him on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or go to his website, rhillenterprisesinc.com. Again, he also does speaking engagements. He is a phenomenal insurance agent out of Chicago, Illinois, and you should contact him for any advice, even if you don't want to work with him.